Alright, welcome back to King of the Bean. My name is Ryan, the king from the last episode, and I am joined here by the ever lovely Ian and the magnanimous Josh.
I'm magnanimous.
Yeah, you are.
I'm lovely.
Yeah.
Ever lovely.
Ever lovely.
Ever lovely.
Yeah. So, welcome back to King of the Bean. For those of you who are new, this is a little show that we do in which we each week select a new host of the three of us based on a drawing of jelly beans from our lovely and for some reason farther away jelly bean dispenser. Well, don't touch it.
Yeah, let's not play with.
Yeah, okay. So we all pick a color, and then I shush the thing and pick the jelly beans, and whoever gets the most jelly beans based on their color gets to be the host, and the host gets to decide the topic for this week. So boys, let us get down to business. Pick a color.
Are you gonna defeat the Huns? Green.
Yellow and green. I'm gonna pick pink.
Alright, different.
I feel like we always pick the same colors. You know what? I'm gonna pick. Is there anything not?
I mean,
I'm just gonna pick pink. Okay, so yellow, pink, green.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a few.
Also, the table's further away because when I came to try to take a nap last week, I pushed it so I could
man. That makes sense.
Always moving stuff around, huh? It's not as easy for me as it was for you guys. I'm really struggling here. My first time as a
You got tilted on your finger. There you go. Use gravity to help.
I don't think there's a single green.
Nope. Alright, so we have 2 yellow beans.
Yeah.
We have 2 orange beans.
Sure.
I actually think this counts as yellow. So
Yeah.
3 yellow beans.
Oh, credit.
A white bean.
Is it me? Is it me?
Are these red or pink? What do we say?
I would say red is closer to pink.
That doesn't answer my question. They're closer to red
That's
than pink,
red.
you mean?
They're pink.
Red.
Okay, I think this one's red.
Yeah.
These 2 I think are pink.
Sure.
And then this one's speckled.
Speckled pink.
That's a pink.
Yeah,
That counts as pink.
So 3 pink, 3 yellow. Tiebreaker.
It is.
It's really easier if you
Neither.
just like.
We have a green, a red, and a pink. So it looks like Ryan wins again, 2 in a row.
Yay!
This is never gonna happen
Here
again.
you go.
No,
Oh god. Let's not break.
break another one.
You can't break something that's broken.
You can't.
All right. So as the king, I would like to talk about amusement parks today.
No way. Who could have saw that coming? Anyways.
I did. So, Ian and I have quite a bit of experience with amusement parks, and recently went to many in a row. Josh has less.
I have the least amount here.
And so I want to talk about amusement parks, and I want to talk about what we like about amusement parks if we do, what we don't like about amusement parks if we don't, and our general overall opinion of amusement parks. So let's start general. Let's start abroad, and then we could siphon it down if we want to. So, Ian, what is your thought on amusement parks based on your experience with them?
Personally, I really like amusement parks. I think they're a great way to spend the day with friends. You know, you get to hang out. You know, usually you skip work, so like, you know, one less day of work in a week.
They are a good hooky option.
They are a hooky option.
Like we would take hooky every school year, so we never had perfect attendance. No. And we would go to Disneyland every winter.
Would you go with your family?
Yeah.
Mom and pop.
And when we were little, we'd all have matching sweaters.
That's cute.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, we had those green sweaters, remember?
I'm not saying
how old were you guys?
Like young.
Like 5 to...
Like 5 to 6.
Okay, then that's most likely. Especially considering you guys are twins.
Yeah. But,
and siblings.
But,
both are true.
Yeah, it's always a place we would go with family. Then as we got older, we'd go with friends. And it's just a nice way to, like, hang out. You get to do some stuff, but you also just get to spend time together. Disney is, like, the biggest one we would go to. And although every year on our birthday growing up, we would go to Knott's Berry Farm.
I would say I've been to Universal more in the last few years, like in my older years recently, because like it's closer to where we live currently.
And cheaper.
It's like it's a little cheaper. It's not that much cheaper, but you can get discount. But it is cheaper, and like I feel like a lot of like people our age, at least up here, prefer to go to Universal.
But yeah, so I love the rides and stuff. Some of them have cool like extra experiences and stuff, but we don't usually do a ton of those.
Yeah, we're not like show people, we're ride people.
Although I will say Nintendo World, they're not technically rides, it's like mini games, but those were really fun too.
Pretty cool.
But we'll dig deeper into that, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I have a very positive outlook on amusement.
I would agree with that because I feel like a lot of like our memories of either with family or like with friends, either in like junior high or high school, or like even recently just going with friends. Like I've been going to horror nights at Universal with my friends the last few years, and it's always been so much fun.
Yeah, the only negative aspect of amusement parks for me is waiting in lines, which sucks, but like when we went to Walt Disney World recently, we were able to maximize our time, I think, and we did pretty well. And the other thing, just as you're an adult and other people aren't paying for you, it's expensive.
The paying part's a big deal. And then lines can be a problem. I feel like if you go with the right group of people and you're like talking and having a good time in lines, like it's not as bad, but I feel like lines kind of are universally bad. But we did do it when we went to Disney World recently in a way that like we really planned out where we were going to go and how we were going to do it. So we really minimized it. I think the longest line we were in was like 30 minutes or something.
Which is not bad.
No, Ratatouille was like 2 hours.
Ratatouille was like an hour and a half, 2 hours, yeah. But that was the only ride where we waited even remotely that long. It was only that one ride out of the 4 parks we went.
And I will say most rides, like 30 to 45 minutes, not actually that bad.
Yeah.
But like,
I feel like that's a reasonable amount of time.
But like anything over an hour, especially 2 hours, you're just like, what's the point?
Yeah. But that's honestly how I feel about anything.
Yeah, I would never wait 2 hours.
In and out line, if it's like out of the line, like I'm not doing. I'm just gonna walk in and like it's gonna be faster. Like I just don't like waiting in lines for anything really.
Yeah, same here.
No, because it's like you can get the same thing for either cheaper or less waiting usually if you did something else instead. So
yeah. So Josh, what are your opinions on amusement parks?
Amusement parks, drool. No. I am very neutral with amusement parks, even though people may say otherwise.
Elaborate.
Okay.
You have the floor.
So,
I decree.
Thank you. Now let's see how far I can go without being interrupted by someone. So
anyway, no.
Did you believe this guy?
So, I, unlike you guys, have not really gone to many amusement parks. Growing up with my family would go to like Disneyland and stuff like that. Probably like maybe like once a year to celebrate my nephew's birthday or whatever. He was like a year old or something like that, so he has no memories of it for the most part. I think they still went there when he got older too, though, so that was nice. But even younger than that, when I was probably like 10 years old or whatever, I never had the want to go to a music park because, as I told my mom in my little 7-year-old self, I'm like, Mom, I don't want to walk. and she looks at me, it's like, we can put you in the stroller. It's like, it's fine, just go, have a good time, you enjoy yourselves, I'll be here. And I just never really had the need to want to go to an amusement park. But that being said, the first time I ever went to an amusement park was probably in high school for like my senior
grad night,
yeah. We went to Disneyland, and that was interesting. I went there with a bunch of friends. We had a good time. I didn't want to go on any rides because I don't find that entertaining. It scares the living bejeebies out of me.
He's not a roller coaster.
I am not a roller coaster person.
I'm with you. Like, up to like Disneyland roller coasters, I don't think there's any roller coasters at Disneyland that are like that bad. Like Space Mountain
or the Incredicoaster.
Incredicoaster goes fast.
Those two, yeah.
But like everything else is like pretty manageable. But if you go to like Six Flags or something, I'm like, oh no. Like that's when I'm like, and I've been on because of peer pressure.
I am not a thrill junkie in any sense.
No, me neither, not at all. But I've been on a lot of the rides, like a majority of the rides at Six Flags, just from peer pressure. But like there's many I have said no to, and I'm not a huge roller coaster person.
I've gone on almost every ride at Six Flags because I've gone with friends multiple times. But the first time we actually went there and actually did the coasters was because so we lived near Six Flags in California when we were in high school, and our physics class at the end of the year is we would go to Six Flags for a day. and study the physics of roller coasters. Like,
We would.
apply our physics
We
learning.
had like a packet of like word problems and stuff we had to do based on the roller
Which, what a
coasters.
great excuse to go to Six Flags.
The only reason I didn't like that trip is because, like, yeah, once you finish your packet, you could do whatever you wanted. But
Independent study.
being an AP student, we were responsible for... So each teacher had, like, 5 classes, I think. And so there was 1 AP physics class and then 4 regular physics class. And each AP physics kid had to be responsible for, like, 3 or 4 regular physics students. And so a bunch of people signed up for my slot that I knew one of them from my Spanish class. And he and his friend signed up to be in my group because they were just planning on ditching me and doing their own thing because they had the answers from someone else. So I went and found some of my friends and like and just grouped up with them because I was like,
I grouped up with my best friend and we just had a great time.
I was like, what am I supposed? Yeah, you got to sign up. Well, and that's the thing is, Timmy was another AP Science kid, so I couldn't hang out with you guys.
Yeah, I didn't take AP Physics, so I just...
And
that worked out nicely.
they recommended you take AP if you were in like a certain math, and we were both in the like the most advanced math, so we did that.
I was in the second level.
Yeah,
but I didn't have to.
but so I couldn't spend the day with them until my group ditched me, but him and Timmy had already gone off.
Yeah, we were doing
so
and we didn't have good cell service there, so we kind of just like went off and did our own thing.
But yeah, so like my first ride was Tatsu, which was terrifying because you haven't been on it, but like you get in the coaster and then it raises you like this, so your back is it's supposed to simulate like flying,
parallel to
but
the
you're
ground.
sitting and you're facing the ground and then you go like this. It's kind of terrifying, but it's also fun.
It's kind of, I've done that
Especially
one. It's okay.
because a lot of rides at Six Flags, what I do appreciate is they make you feel safe. Like you are like you're not going anywhere.
Sure.
Except for Goliath. They give you a lap bar and then they drop you 500 feet at like a 90-degree
That was the one thing that I told Timmy, no, I'm not doing that. And that I felt bad because he said that was his favorite ride, but I'm like, you get a lap bar and you go, and I'm like, no, I don't trust it.
See,
I'm good.
See, I've been to Six Flags, and I think Six Flags is the one that has that. You see it everywhere, like in fairs, conventions, whatever the fuck they're called, amusement parks, whatever. But it's the
Like
boat.
county fairs.
County fairs, thank you. It's the boat that just rocks back and forth.
Oh yeah,
I
no.
hate it.
The pendulum thing.
I hate it.
No,
We did it once.
We did it once. Didn't like it.
Because we went because our dad's old company, old company,
Yeah.
used to do like a company picnic at Six Flags, and they have a special area there where everybody can hang out. But then we would leave and like go on rides and stuff, and yeah.
No, but I hated that. I hate the sensation of falling.
Same.
It
That's
is
why I don't
such a-
like heights because
Yeah.
I don't like falling.
I
because
say
if
same,
you fall, what are you gonna do?
But one of
Nothing.
my favorite rides as a kid was the one that just shoots you straight up and down, and then but it like bounces down because it's the
I
kiddie
remember
version.
That one at like Knott's.
Yeah, at Knott's Berry Farm, that's my favorite because
Nah.
it didn't go like that tall, maybe like 10
It was, like,
feet in
10,
the air.
15 feet,
Nah,
And
not
it
for
would
me.
shoot you up and then you bounce like all the way down. And I thought that was fun because you never felt like you were really falling. It was like whee.
Nah.
No, I
Not
felt
for
like
me.
I was falling.
Not for me.
like that.
But then my aunt took me on the Tower of Terror when I was like 10,
Yeah.
and the one in LA just like
See,
drops
that one
you.
didn't bother me for whatever. Like I'm like,
Bothered me
I don't want to
so
go on that
much.
again,
I
but
didn't speak for like 30 minutes to an hour later.
Drama.
Ian was traumatized.
My aunt called my mom because we went with my aunt and grandma. Grandma did not go on the ride.
She didn't need to. She was making fun.
But
of it.
my
She
aunt
was.
called my mom and was like, "Hey, I traumatized your son. Like he is broken.
He literally
He is
didn't
not
talk.
speaking." We went on the Rapids ride and then I got wet and I was like, "I'm fine." But yeah, she called her in the line and was like, "I think I broke him." And Grandma was just like, "My poor baby."
Yeah, of course.
But because she said the one in Florida, which she had been on already, because I think that one was released first, it bounces. And now that we've been on it, it bounces. It doesn't like you're gonna die. But
You even called her afterwards, like.
yeah. And after
Yeah.
we went on the one in Florida, I called her and I was just like, "I just want you to know, you're right. The Florida one bounces. I don't forgive you for the the Anaheim one, but I want you to know that, your assumptions were valid." And she said she appreciated the call. So,
She's like, I feel vindicated.
Panty, when you watch this, shut up.
It's funny.
You are vindicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, neutral.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, because I think that there is a lot to dislike about amusement parks. Like, they
Yeah,
are
a
expensive.
lot.
Yeah, we
and
pay a lot to
expensive,
just sit in line.
and lines can be a pain, and crowds can be a pain. But I feel like if you do it right, like when Ian and I went to Florida and we did Disney World, like we with the hotel we were staying at, we were able to get in like an hour early.
Half an hour. No, was it an hour?
We got in early. And we used that time to go to like the most, like the place that we knew was gonna have the longest line. So like when we went to Animal Kingdom, they now have like a whole like Pandora area from like Avatar, from the James Cameron Avatar stuff. And there's a ride there that we're like, that one is going to be the longest line for sure. And so we were able to basically, like, we didn't get a walk on it because there's like a lot of people for some reasons, but we only waited like maybe 15 minutes to get on it.
And that's reasonable.
Yeah, and by the time we were done, the line was already, because the park was open, already at like 60 minutes.
Yeah.
But so we skipped basically the biggest line.
And then we went straight to the one next to, well, we got breakfast because our friend Jill told us, like, because she went to Animal Kingdom the day before, she said, okay, go on the Banshee ride, and then there's like a little food place right when you're done. You can get breakfast there, and then go over to the next Avatar ride, which is like a little boat thing, which is pretty cool. We waited like 25 minutes for that. But both those rides, like 2 hours late, an hour or 2 hours later, were over an hour.
Yeah, and so we did those before everyone got in because everyone's gonna go there first.
Yeah.
And then we went to like the Everest one, which is another popular one, and so we just like we
pretty much walked on Everest.
And we finished the whole park. Like, we did all the rides in like 2.5, 3 hours. Like, we were done by like 11.
See, that's my ideal situation, just being there 2 to 3 hours and leaving afterwards.
Yeah.
I can't do more than that.
Because if you do it right, you could do that. And like, we did that at like Magic Kingdom too. We did a lot of what we wanted to do.
Well, we had 2 days.
And we did have 2 days. We did go like.
But like for Animal Kingdom, we finished the whole park in about 2 hours, and we spent an hour walking around shopping. There were these performers outside, so we stayed and watched them for a little bit. But then we decided we're going to go back to our hotel because we had to wake up at like 6 to catch the shuttle to get to the park early.
Yeah.
So we went back to the hotel and we napped for like 2 hours.
He napped. I watched Ghost Adventures.
Nice.
We relaxed / napped for 2 hours.
Nice to just relax.
It was nice, and then we were ready. We went to Epcot, and then we spent like 5 or 6 hours there doing everything.
And even in Epcot, like, even though we didn't get in early, we still like hit everything we wanted to hit pretty much, and we got like a lot of the rides done because we were like looking at the times, and we got the Genie Plus.
We didn't need the Genie Plus for Animal Kingdom, which was nice, but we did buy it for Epcot. And we were able to get in the virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy, which is my new favorite amusement park ride.
Yes. We're gonna talk about rides in a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun. And the Genie Plus, like, yeah, it's like, man, I have to pay for a service that used to be free is annoying.
Yeah.
But it really does improve your experience because you spend.
If you use it right.
Yeah, because I think one time we did use it wrong where we got it for something and then we were like, oh, we should have done it for that. And,
yeah.
But
did I ever tell you guys the story of my friend Edgar, his brother? We went to his bachelor party, and he wanted to go to Six Flags for his bachelor party. And it was supposed to be like a bunch of people, but like a lot of people couldn't make it, so it was just literally me, my brother, Edgar, and Juan. We went to Six Flags.
What a bachelor party!
Listen, you were having a great time.
Hey, that's what matters.
And so we went on a bunch of roller coasters, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it because it's for this other person, not me, or whatever.
That's why I went on rides.
Yeah.
Timmy.
So we went on a bunch of rides, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like terrified throughout everything. Again, still not a roller coaster person, even if they were more on the tame side or whatever.
Yeah.
And we ended up finishing up what we wanted to do by like 2:00, and then we left, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I mean,
I did everything I needed to do.
When you went for that other bachelor party at Universal, you also left at like 2.
Yeah.
I think there is a way to do amusement parks that's not soul sucking. Like, you just gotta do it smart though. You gotta like look at the times, and you gotta like know, what do I want to do? Like, what do I want to do? Like, I'm here today. These are the rides or attractions or whatever that I want to do. These are the ones that would be cool to do, but if I don't get to, that's okay. And these are the ones I don't want to do.
Well, and I think
pay attention.
The thing about Josh though is also a lot of people will think about like, oh, I spent this money, I want to spend as much time as possible, and I want to do as many things as possible. Josh is like, I spent this money, I want to spend 4 hours and leave. Like,
I want to have my entertainment and I'm good.
But that's fine because you're still thinking like, what do I want to do while I'm here, and then what do I not want to do?
Yeah,
and like, your list may be shorter than other people's lists. But
yeah, but the problem is he goes with people who want to spend more time there.
I know, who spend the whole day there, and it's like.
To be fair though, when we did go to Universal,
it's hot.
Yeah, but we could have maximized our time better. We didn't plan things out very well.
Probably.
We didn't take advantage of being there early and all the rides being 5 minutes. We walked past. We could have walked on like all the lower lot rides there, and then gone to Nintendo World and been fine instead of going there waiting and then doing that
we have to
and then coming back and having to stand in all the lines.
And honestly, I mean, Toadstool Cafe is a cool experience. I recommend everybody go at least once if you're going to Universal Studios Hollywood. I would not do it again. Yeah. It's kind of pricey, but all of the food probably is. But also, like, none of the food's customizable. You have to get it exactly as it is because for some reason. But also, you have to get a select time, which opens up super early, and most of the slots are taken by the time the park actually opens. So if you can and you're going, get the link beforehand, and you can use that same link to get it at 7 a.m. when you wake up to go to the park or whatever. And then having that time slot, it could interrupt the way you want to do other things because it's like this is the one time you have to do this.
It's true.
But it was good food, and it's really cool, like themed food. So highly recommend.
I got like this giant Bowser meatball thing. I was expecting it to be a lot spicier. It was just salty.
Yeah, because they call it like Bowser's spicy meatball.
Bowsy's meatball. Yeah, I got the Luigi pesto chicken.
Well, it was just drenched.
Which was just covered in pesto.
And I got the Mario burger.
Touched on this in the food one, but yeah, it was just drenched in pesto. It was like all pesto. But the buns had little mustaches on them, which is cute.
Yeah.
And you got a flag? Like, we have flags in all the cups and stuff that just sit in our kitchen.
The flags are in the living room.
Oh, yeah, the flags are in the living room, all the cups are in the kitchen.
Where they belong. We should throw one of them out.
But yeah, I think that there is a way to do amusement parks, but you gotta, like, put some forethought into it. Because even when we were there, like, I had the map out the whole time, and Ian was like looking at times, and I'm like, okay,
I had the app, he had the map.
Yeah, and so we were like literally like planning it out the whole time. We're like, okay, we're gonna go here first, we're gonna hit here, then we're gonna go here, then stop for lunch here, whatever.
The only thing we didn't do great was Epcot because we kind of went from the back to the front of the park like 4 times. Yeah. And the only thing I wish we got to do was explore the pavilions more for the countries. Yeah,
because we went there in the evening and there was a lot of rides we wanted to do, which I'm glad we got to do.
And we got our set time for Guardians.
We did get Guardians.
But we also got the Frozen's Adventure tickets because Fast Passes were being used up, so we're like, oh, we want to get this time. So, but our virtual queue popped up for for Guardians right after we finished Remy's, which is in the back of the park, where we waited like 2 hours. So we had to like book it to the front, and then Frozen's was near Remy's because it was in Norway, and then we had to go all the way back, and then the park was closing, and we wanted to catch the shuttle, which was at a specific time. So
I think that was the biggest thing, because we could have stayed a little longer and gotten food, but the shuttle was like at a specific time, and then if you didn't hit that, it'd be like another like hour.
Yeah.
And then that would have been the last shuttle.
When also the park closed at 9, it was almost 9, so it was either you leave now and get the shuttle, or you watch the fireworks show and maybe get more time in the park. But yeah, you're waiting a whole nother hour and a little bit. So luckily, we decided we were tired. We'd been up since 6.
Yeah, we had a long day, but it was a good day, and we got a lot done. It was I'm glad we got to get on Guardians, because that was a really cool ride. It's basically like Space Mountain, except like more visual. It's not just all dark and you're just kind of going through space.
Yeah,
like
with
a lot of
music.
Visuals. With music, and the carts like kind of spin as it goes. So you're like looking at all this stuff and you're moving around. It's a very dynamic ride. It was very fun.
I love that we got the song one way or another. It felt perfect. I don't know if like maybe the visuals changed depending on the song too.
Yeah, because there's like 6 different songs.
But it was like a chase scene, and you're doing one way or another, and they're like, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna get you one way, and then you're chasing him. So it felt very fitting.
The Guardians was cool, and then the Banshee ride in Pandora I really liked too.
It's weird. I will say my biggest gripe with amusement parks is they're not really big person friendly. Because like that one, I fit in it, but it wasn't the most comfortable. It was very squishy.
It wasn't comfortable for me either, to be fair.
Okay.
It just because it's like a bike seat type thing, and then you're like,
I'd see.
yeah,
Well,
like
it's
a
not a
motorcycle kind of like position.
It's a small
Gotcha.
padded seat, but yeah, you're sitting kind of like in a
Like you're on a
motorcycle.
motorcycle because the whole thing is you're riding one of like the flying banshees and you're.
But the
flying
way
through
that it
Pandora.
kind of comes up behind you and in front of you, like for me, I was very like squished.
Yeah. But the ride itself was cool because like it's like a green screen kind of visual thing, and it was really neat and it's very pretty. And I was like, I want to go to Pandora.
But like just to branch off, so the one ride that I couldn't do it because Disney is usually pretty good about being more accommodating for people of different sizes. Tron, for some reason though, I couldn't get on, and that was a little sad and depressing, because it was like a bike and you get on it. And you're in your bike form, and then you're
Bike form.
You're holding
like
the
a
handlebars,
transformer,
and then
yeah.
you're supposed to pull the handles, which bring this gadget from behind to close on your legs.
It
And
it
the
like
bar-
comes down like that, so it holds your back down, and then there's like pads that go into where your.
But the
your
bar
pads
that
are.
went for the legs kept hitting my leg, and we couldn't get it to close, and which was very like kind of embarrassing having to like leave the ride. And
So they have a cart in the back for people who are like either in wheelchairs or like can't fit in there. So we didn't have to like.
Well, we had to get off that ride, and then they moved us to the other side where there was availability, and I sat in the handicap seat, which was just a regular bench.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the experience of trying to get on the ride and then being told no, you have to go sit in the special seat was kind of sad. And it was a similar thing happened at Universal, where a lot more of their rides, and even the Mario Kart ride, they advertised like, you may not be able to fit in this if you're like bigger than this size or whatever. And we went on. We were gonna go on the Flight of the Hippogriff.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Is the castle one. The Flight of the Hippogriff is the other roller coaster. But we're doing whatever's in the castle.
We didn't do the Flight of the Hippogriff, but
it's not worth it. You stand in line and you go woo, and then you're done in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But the other one was the castle one, and I just went to ask the lady a question, and she was like, "Sit in that seat. I don't think you're gonna be able to be on the ride." It was a very like jarring experience, and I felt very like excluded and unwelcome. But
I mean, I get though, like just to play devil's advocate, that it's like a safety thing for you
but
and
also
for people.
She didn't bother to just.
Well, no, I'm not defending her specifically. What I'm saying, just devil advocate, is for like rides and
but they could also
manufacturers is like safety, because like on that ride especially, like you kind of go sideways and it's like doing a lot of this stuff. So like they build the apparatus to like only support like a certain amount of movement and weight and stuff. So like I get that there's a safety
but
reason.
they could also build it bigger.
I'm not saying that like right or wrong. I'm just saying I understand why there's limitations.
Limitations are fine. I just think, especially as the country is like, average size of a human is bigger, the newer rides should also be more accommodating of that, because these are newer rides. They're not like Mario Kart came out last year, and it's like, oh, people of this size can't go on it, and I've heard of people who don't look very big. They're not comfortable, or they can't fit on it. So which is why we wanted to go to Universal when it came out in like March or whatever. But then when I heard that, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm in no rush.
Is there a height limit to
rides?
Yeah.
Like upper limit?
Yeah, upper limit. Yeah.
I
know there's a lower limit.
I think there is on some, but not a ton.
Not that's something that I ever have to worry about, but it just came to my head right now.
Yeah.
That is one of the irrational fears I have, is being on a roller coaster and like feeling like I have to duck.
I feel that way on Space Mountain because there's tracks.
Yeah, and you're not in bike form.
Yeah, you're not in bike form. And I don't trust things. That's what I've realized. I don't trust engineers who probably know what they're doing more than I do. Yeah. I don't trust everything's gonna work the way it's supposed to. I know that the chance of failure is like relatively slim.
Yeah, but with your luck, you're like, it's gonna be.
I mean, that's the thing too. Like, I'm not a lucky individual, so I'm like, it would be my luck that something catastrophic would occur.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's talk about rides. What are some rides that you like, that you've been on? What are some of your favorite rides?
So we mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
I also love the Incredicoaster.
That was fun.
Cause I mean, I used to not be a big fan of roller coasters. Now I'm okay with most of them, but I used to be terrified of that ride because it has a loop. But ever since they rethemed California Scream into the Incredicoaster, I love it. Like, I just love the theme, and you're chasing Jack, and it's like fun. And it's like
I feel conversely.
a neat experience.
I don't dislike it, but like to say they changed the theme, they put up some freaking billboards with like some lights. And then some voiceovers that you could barely hear because you're going so
Well, they have the voiceovers, but then I mean they do have Dash and other characters put throughout too.
It's just like billboards. It's just like posters, you know, like just like stagnant
I still think it's fun.
things. So
and all the cars are now red and incredible.
Yeah, like they changed the theme, but to me, like that doesn't add anything to me. I'm just like that's kind of silly. It's the same thing, but I think it's a fun ride. I'm not.
And then you get to see Edna at the end.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean she's the best.
I remember we were waiting in line for that stuff, and the whole line I was just like. Myself, I'm like mentally preparing myself because I'm not a roller coaster fan, and they're like, "Are you okay?" It's like just mentally preparing.
He was so anxious the entire time.
I was because it's not my thing.
I get that.
But also the countdown's different. I think I don't remember who voiced the countdown before, but now it's like Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, it's Edna, isn't it?
I hope it's Edna. I don't remember.
Or is it Frozone?
We're saying all of it. No one knows. We don't know. We're just guessing. Josh, who do you think it is?
It's Dash.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, let me look.
What are some rides that you've liked that you've been to in terms of amusement parks?
That I liked from amusement parks. That can't.
Did you like the Mario Kart one?
I did like the Mario Kart, but those were like a lot of mini games.
But I mean, like the Mario Kart ride, like you go through Bowser's Castle and you get on.
And you have
geysers, yeah.
Well, that is a ride. Yeah, I like those because those are like mini games essentially.
Yeah, they're like
when
experiences as opposed to rides.
Yeah.
Do you prefer more experiences to rides?
I do, yeah, because it's more interactive for me, and it takes me out of the idea because it's not going fast to begin with, but like it takes me out of the idea that I'm riding a roller coaster. I'm just playing a game. Also, beat everyone there.
Josh did, yeah.
He did.
Yeah, I did.
Driving it was so weird though, because you have to
you
have to drive while you attack things with your face.
Yeah, while moving your head.
But like you steer with your hands and you shoot with your head.
So you're doing these two different motions, and
I almost wish it was opposite because I look a lot with just my eyes, so I wouldn't be shooting where I wanted to shoot, or I tilt my head, but it wasn't enough because I'm not used to like having to do this and also drive. It's very strange. I wish you just had buttons to shoot.
Yeah. But those are fun. Yeah. It's also nice to just be like, yeah, that's right. Guys, I'm better than you guys in this game.
If we go to Disneyland together, we need to do the Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters.
What's that one? Is it the shooter game?
Yeah, you're like in a car.
I won by so much at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, but you freaking something bugged out because we were 2 seconds in and he had like 100,000 points. I'm like, that's not
that's not
possible.
How this works.
That's not how that works.
So it is Dash that counts it.
Nailed
down.
it.
Nailed it. Second try. But yeah, so we'll have to do Astro Blasters. It's a Buzz Lightyear one, and the Toy Story Mania because I beat you at Toy Story Mania fair and square.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to do because they do have some of those too, which I think you would like too.
Did we do Toy Story Mania? We did with Frank and Kristen, right?
I don't remember. Yes,
the one where you like.
Yes, we did.
Did you like that one?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Again, I beat everyone.
I do like the experience.
There are other rides or experiences that are pretty nice. There was the we went to the Incredible World of Pets or whatever, where you just become a pet and whatever, and you get adopted.
I didn't go. We didn't go on there. Right?
No. Okay, but
I didn't think I would fit again.
Probably not, but who knows? But
we went to go finish the mini games in Mario World.
Yeah, because for whatever you guys.
Oh, it was because mine didn't get counted for the Bowser Jr. thing, so we went to go talk about the wristband and
while we were there, we just finished all the stuff.
but it was me and my two friends, Evie and Ecker, there, and they went on one, and I was by myself, and I had bought Evie a little stuffed toy of Toad because she loves Toad, and so I just held Toad with me, and so I put Toad right next to me in the ride. It's like, do it, and I have a video. I gotta send it to you. You gotta remind me.
But I put it in.
But I have a video of me just like being adopted. It's like, Toad, it's happening, and I move over to Toad's camera. I was like, it's happening. It's gonna happen. We're gonna get adopted. Oh my god! And we're just having a great time. Me and Toad.
Weren't one of you offended because it turned you into a brown dog?
I think that was Evie.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like something she was
sounds right. Yeah.
I was just offended I wasn't adopted by a gay family. Because there's heterosexual families that love their pets, Not like the homosexuals, let me tell you.
Yeah, they pamper.
The pamper.
Although Evie, my aunt, and Johnny all pamper their dogs the most out of anybody I know.
It's true.
And there's no homosexuals.
They're a new
fair.
breed.
That is
They're a
fair.
new breed. But yeah. So it was just a great time. But yeah, those are just like nice interactive like rides that are just there to like see what's going on.
So you like the kid rides?
I do, because it's chill. And I'm very much...
Did you go on Pirates when you went to Disneyland?
Is that the one where
The boat.
you're just in water and at some point it drops very lightly?
Yeah.
Lately, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like that one?
Yeah, it was cool.
I went Haunted Mansion.
I don't think I went to Haunted Mansion. No.
We took you.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Then.
I think
That's
so.
another chill, just sit and
Yeah,
observe
because
ride.
the pirate ride, I remember going that for like a grad night or whatever, and I was with Frank.
I
And,
think we took you on both. But...
yeah. There's that one where there's like the little spinning wheel thing where you're just in the water and you get splashed all the time. I forget what it's called. The log ride.
Spinning wheel.
It's like a wheel in the middle and everyone's just
the
sitting.
rapid
Oh, the
ride?
rapid ride.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't know.
It's not a log.
I could have sworn it's called like log ride or something. But anyways.
No, the log ride is at Knott's Berry Farm. At Disneyland, they call it Splash Mountain.
Okay.
And then there's the rapid ride at California Adventure, where you sit in a circle, and then there's the thing in the middle,
Yeah.
and then we all try to turn it because we don't want to be the ones getting super wet.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
don't
fun.
think it actually turns.
It doesn't turn.
It doesn't turn
It
anything.
doesn't turn it.
But you try to use that to like momentum it.
Sure.
It was so fun when we did that at Animal Kingdom because they had the rapids ride,
Mhm.
and so we went through and like it. Here's a side tangent before we get into this anecdote. So to compare quickly Disneyland in California and Magic Kingdom.
And
in
Ryan and I
Florida.
will do a deep dive on this at some
We don't want to because this could be a 2-hour episode.
point.
But
we got food to eat at some point.
I would say just a quick synopsis is the aesthetics of Disney World in Florida are nicer. I think the parks look nicer,
Okay.
but the rides in California are better because they're longer. The ones in Florida are all like truncated. It's like half of what you get in California.
Yeah, like Pirates, you feel like you only got half of what you get in
And
California.
you do because we know the one in California, and they literally cut off both ends and just give you like the middle part. It's
And
really
then the rapid ride at ours there's two or three drops.
There's like one little one and two like bigger ones.
We only got like the middle drop
Yeah.
of ours,
and
and then it was,
Florida.
and I was expecting more, and then the ride was over.
So it was really short. Like the rides are all really short. Like and they're just not as good in my opinion. I think the California rides are much better.
Although some of the aesthetics for the rides are cooler, or like
Yeah.
the waiting in line area is really cool.
Yeah.
Like the Dino ride, which is Indiana Jones.
It's Indiana Jones, but instead of like seeing a bunch of cool stuff, it's just super dark, and they're just like a few animatronic dinosaur heads that are just kind of there, and it's so lame.
But the
I was
coolest
like,
thing
this
is that
lame.
there's like a whole dinosaur museum in the
Yeah.
waiting line.
Which is cool, except that was one of the rides that we just walked straight onto. All the rides that had cool stuff, like the Expedition Everest one where you like kind of go up and you see a Yeti and you go back down, like had a really cool like Yeti museum, like a bunch of like lore
Articles.
about the Yeti and like culturally significant stuff, like where the origin of Yeti comes from, like a bunch of news articles and like all this really cool stuff that we just walked right through because there was no line for that. And we walked right onto the ride, which is cool to walk on a ride, but I'm like, why does this happen when we have all the cool stuff to look at?
Sure.
But
That one ride in the Mario Kart one in Mario Land or whatever.
Nintendo World.
Nintendo World, thank you. Had a bunch of like the cool Mario.
Yeah, we
stuff.
also walked through that
we
one.
did single rider or something, right?
We
Or
did
we
a
No,
fast pass or something.
What
we-
did?
what
Oh,
did-
no, because Edgar's handicapped.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. And we
But-
cheated the system because you're not allowed to get 5 people, but they let us.
Yeah,
they
they
were
let us.
being nice that day.
But yeah, so we walked through like the
Yeah,
fast pass.
and everything looked gorgeous.
Everything
That's
looked
so
really
cool.
cool, but we didn't want to stop and read and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, and also I'm glad we just got to walk in because even though we walked into the first half,
Such a
there's
long
still
ride.
like 2 staging areas to get to the
Yeah.
ride, and it took so long to get through those. So I feel bad for anybody who waited 3 hours just to get to
Get to
that
the
point
next
where you have to
line.
wait another 45 minutes to get on.
Well,
the
but the
ride.
3 hours includes that.
Does
I
it?
don't know if it does.
Yeah.
The wait time at the front, the wait time's supposed to be until you get to the front of the ride. Or like onto the ride.
Either way, that's still 2 hour wait.
It took a long time.
Yeah, so like I'm as cool as it was, like I'd rather we just get to the ride. But anyway, just to go back to the rapids anecdote real quick. So we did the rapids ride, and then at the end there's like this bridge that goes over like the rapids ride, and there's like a button you can press that like shoots water out of these little elephants.
Sure.
So there's like a girl and her dad or grandpa or something standing there, and we were going under, and she presses the button and sprays us all, and then she just started laughing, and I'm like, yeah, you got us, and she was just so happy that she got us, and I thought it was really cute.
But like before every bit of water, we'd all yell like, turn, momentum, like,
yeah.
Because it was like us, a family, and then 2 other people by themselves.
See, that's my ideal situation. I've told Ian this. Like, I don't personally want to go to amusement parks. Like, I will, but like, it's not my go-to at all.
Yeah.
But I told him, like, if I ever have a daughter though who wants to go to Disney World or whatever, like, I will have to do it.
Well, that was one of the biggest things. Well, that was something I observed too when we were there. It's like I literally thought multiple times. I'm like, when I have a kid one day, this would be so much fun to do with my partner and our kid.
Yeah.
Or kids or whatever. Like, because they just love it. They're having so much fun. And I just feel like that would be like a great experience as 100%. A parent to take your kid to.
100%.
Yeah. So I get that. I resonate with that. Yeah. I had that thought multiple times.
Ian's only butthurt because I wouldn't do it for him. Like, nope. And you should know that. Well, I am biased towards this unborn daughter of mine.
As you should be, I feel like. Well, I mean, is there anything that you guys else you want to touch on? That was kind of all I had thought about, is our general thoughts, our likes and dislikes. Is there anything, any last comments we want to have?
No, I think that's good for now. What do you guys think? What are your favorite rides or amusement parks that you've been to?
And if you think, if your friend doesn't want to go to an amusement park, is it okay if they stay home? Taking personal questions here.
Or I'm gonna say yeah. Like I wouldn't force anyone to go if you don't want to.
But what if you want to spend time with your partner, and they're neutral towards amusement parks, and you don't ask them to go very often, and and they still choose to stay home?
Yo.
Alright, thank you for joining us. Please answer any and all questions in the comments down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, favorite, comment, whatever. I want to put some more fun polls. I don't know if anyone noticed the fun poll I put on Spotify for the animal one, but I'm going to try and do more of that. So interact if you would like. Let us know your thoughts on anything and everything we talked about in this episode. And we will see you all next time. Have a lovely time, friends.
Bye.
Bye.